Let's be real. Most men lose battles they could have easily won. Not because they were weaker, not because they were wrong, but because they reacted. You've seen it, the guy who gets triggered by a woman's test. The man who loses his temper over a comment. The person who lets one moment of emotion destroy years of discipline. In that instant, when you react, you lose control of yourself. And a man who doesn't control himself controls nothing. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." The Stoics would agree, except they call that emotional slavery. So today, we're going to talk about something that will change how you see yourself forever. The power of not reacting. Because the truth is, emotional control isn't just calmness, it's strength. And once you master it, nothing and no one can control you again. Part 1. Why reactivity makes you weak. In today's world, everyone's emotionally reactive. Social media trains your brain to respond instantly. Likes, comments, notifications. We're living in a culture of reaction, not reflection. And this has one effect. It weakens men. Every time you react instantly, you're admitting one thing. Someone else can control my state. Think about it. If someone can make you angry with a sentence, or make you chase them with silence, you're not in control. They are. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He didn't say, control your girlfriend or control your boss. He said, control your mind. But here's the hard truth. You can't control your mind if you've never met the parts of yourself that lose control. And that's where Carl Jung comes in. Part 2. The Jungian view. Know your shadow. Jung believed every man carries a shadow. The hidden parts of yourself you deny, suppress, or refuse to face. The anger you can't explain. The jealousy you pretend you don't feel. The rage that shows up when someone disrespects you. That's your shadow. And Jung warned, what you resist persists. The more you deny those emotions, the more power they gain over you. Because here's the paradox. You can't control emotions you refuse to acknowledge. The Stoics never said, don't feel. They said, don't be ruled by what you feel. That's the bridge between Stoicism and Jungian psychology, awareness. When you feel anger, jealousy, or shame rising inside you, don't suppress it. Observe it. Own it. Marcus Aurelius practiced this every morning. He would write down his thoughts, identifying the emotions trying to control him. He treated them like wild animals in a cage, studied them until they lost their bite. When you do this, you turn the unconscious, what Jung called the shadow, into the conscious. And the moment you do that, you take your power back. Part 3. The power of pause. Here's the secret that Stoics and Jung both understood. The gap between stimulus and response is where your power lives. Someone insults you. That's the stimulus. You want to snap back. That's the reaction. But between those two moments is a tiny space, and that's where freedom lives. Viktor Frankl, deeply influenced by Stoic ideas, said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space, that pause is everything. Most men skip it. They go straight from feeling to reacting, from emotion to explosion. And every time they do, they reinforce weakness. Stoics train themselves to lengthen that pause, to become aware before acting. You feel anger? Pause. Ask, is this worth my energy? You feel jealousy? Pause. Ask, what is this emotion trying to tell me about myself? Carl Jung would say that in that pause, you're integrating your shadow. You're no longer its slave, you're its master. Part 4. How to train yourself not to react. Let's make this practical. Emotional control isn't mystical, it's trainable. Here are 5 Stoic Jungian practices to develop it. 1. Name what you feel. Jung said, "Emotion that is not made conscious appears as fate." The moment you name your emotion, it loses half its power. Don't say, "I'm angry." Say, "I feel anger." That subtle shift reminds your mind, you're not the emotion, you're the observer. The Stoics practiced this too. They called it cognitive distancing. When Seneca felt irritation, he'd label it. "This is anger trying to control me." That awareness broke its grip. 2. Ask, what's the lesson? Every emotional reaction reveals a weakness, an unhealed wound, a hidden belief. If someone disrespects you and you explode, the problem isn't their words. It's that part of you that still needs validation. Jung would say your reaction is a projection. You're seeing something in them that reflects what you haven't accepted in yourself. The Stoics turned this into wisdom. Marcus wrote, "If you're pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them." Every reaction is a mirror. Ask yourself, what is this emotion showing me about me? 3. Breathe, don't break. Your breath is your anchor. It's the oldest Stoic tool and the foundation of every warrior discipline. Before battle, soldiers in Rome were trained to slow their breathing, not because it calmed fear, but because it created control. Next time you feel triggered, breathe in slowly for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. You're not just calming your body, you're reclaiming command of your nervous system. Carl Jung studied this too. He saw that the body and psyche mirror each other. If you master your breath, you master your state. 4. Detach from outcomes. One of the biggest causes of reactivity is attachment, wanting things to go a certain way. The Stoics called this the disease of expectation. They believed you suffer not because of events, but because you expected them to be different. When you're attached to an outcome, her reaction, their opinion, your success, you give away your peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger." Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care without needing to control. That's real freedom. That's emotional power. 5. Use reflection, not reaction. At night, Stoics like Seneca practiced evening reflection. They reviewed the day and asked, where did I lose control? What emotion ruled me today? What can I do better tomorrow? Jung's version of this was journaling to uncover patterns from the unconscious. Both knew that reflection transforms emotion into wisdom. If you end your day with reflection, your mind sharpens. You stop repeating emotional mistakes. You evolve. Part 5. Reaction is easy. Control is power. Weak men react. Strong men respond. And wise men observe then act. Carl Jung once said, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." Your emotions, anger, sadness, fear, that's your hell. But when you face them instead of reacting to them, you grow taller, stronger, deeper. The Stoics called this process apatheia, not apathy, but inner peace. It's what happens when no external event can disturb your internal state. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free," because bravery isn't about fighting others. It's about mastering yourself. When you stop reacting, you stop being a slave to other people's behavior. You become untouchable, not cold, composed, not numb, disciplined. That's the essence of masculine calm. Part 6. How to apply this in real life. Let's ground this in real-world situations. Scenario 1. Relationship conflict. She tests you, raises her voice, tries to get a reaction. Most men argue, defend, or try to win. But the Stoic Jungian man does something else. He stays calm. He sees her emotion as information, not a threat. He breathes, listens, and waits before speaking. Why? Because he understands that emotional reactivity destroys polarity. The more grounded you are, the more she respects you. You show power not by overpowering, but by remaining unshaken. Scenario 2, workplace pressure. Your boss criticizes you unfairly. Your instinct is to fight back or sulk. Instead, pause. Ask, is this feedback or ego? If it's ego, ignore it. If it's feedback, use it. Either way, you stay in control. Remember Marcus's words. Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. That's not denial. That's discipline. Scenario 3, social media or daily triggers. Someone mocks you online, spreads rumors, or provokes you. Don't respond instantly. Instant reaction equals instant loss of frame. Real power is silence. Stoics mastered this. They saw silence as the highest form of response. It forces others to face themselves. As Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your triggers are your teachers. Use them. Part 7. The psychology of calmness. Let's go deeper into the psychology behind not reacting. When you react, your amygdala, the brain's threat center, hijacks control. Logic shuts off. Emotion takes over. But when you pause, breathe, reflect, you activate your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for wisdom, reasoning, and long-term thinking. The Stoics didn't have neuroscience, but they trained the same skill through philosophy. They were rewiring their nervous system through self-discipline. Carl Jung went a step further. He taught that every emotion carries a message from the unconscious. If you ignore it, it controls you. If you listen, you integrate it. So next time you feel emotional, don't suppress it and don't react. Ask, what is this emotion asking me to learn? That's how you evolve. Part 8, the Stoic test. Let me give you a challenge. For the next 7 days, take what you've learned and apply it. Whenever you feel triggered, pause for 5 seconds. Don't reply. Don't explain. Don't act. Just observe. Then, later, reflect. Ask yourself, what emotion did I feel? What belief was behind it? What did I learn? If you can do this for 7 days, you'll notice something incredible. Your energy stabilizes. You stop overthinking. You become grounded. And that calm confidence, people feel it. That's what true masculine energy is. Not aggression, not coldness, but control. Part 9, closing, the Stoic man. The Stoic man doesn't run from emotions. He rules them. He feels deeply, but he never lets feelings drive his actions. He listens before he speaks, observes before he reacts, thinks before he decides. Carl Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming whole. Stoics called it virtue, living in harmony with reason. Both are paths to mastery. And mastery doesn't mean being perfect. It means being present, aware, grounded, unshakable. So next time someone disrespects you, tests you, tries to pull you into chaos, remember, reacting is easy. Responding with calm power, that's rare. That's Stoic. That's strength. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Don't match their chaos. Maintain your composure. Because every time you stay calm when others lose control, you rise and they reveal themselves. If this message resonated with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with a man who needs to hear it. Because emotional control isn't just philosophy, it's freedom. Freedom from your past, your triggers, and from anyone who tries to pull you off your path. Remember, you can't control the world, but you can always control yourself. And when you master that, you become unstoppable. Stay strong, stay grounded, and never react, respond.